the Democratic Alliance's application to have the EFF shutdown declared unlawful has been dismissed. The High Court in Johannesburg has, however, interdicted EFF members and protesters from shutting down schools, businesses and public roads. The court has also interdicted protesters from promoting or inciting violence. The Democratic Alliance argues the planned shutdown placed various constitutional rights in jeopardy and that the requisite notice was not given. We can speak now to the leader of the Democratic Alliance, John Steenhuisen. He joins us from Durban in KwaZulu-Natal. John, thank you very much for your time this morning. Your reaction?
Well, obviously, we're delighted with the interdict that's been granted against the EFF in terms of committing violence and disrupting businesses and schools, as well as threatening to damage or close down infrastructure. That was always the main thrust of the case. We've also thanked the court for instructing the economic freedom fighters to disseminate the court's findings on all of their platforms and to inform all members and businesses that they were previously notified to shut down on Monday, that this court has now ruled that that was not correct, and that I think it's a massive victory for the rule of law, and I think it's a massive victory for law and order in the country, because the interdict now arms the security services with the power, should the EFF violate that court order, to take action against them. And I think it is a very, very welcome development that the protest will go ahead, but it has to be done so lawfully and in the bounds of the law, which is what our point has been all along.
Sure. So overall happy with this decision. I do wonder, John, if you have a position or a thought on this, because the Red Berets, or the leader of the Red Berets, the EFF, Julius Malema, has said something about the opposition possibly planting, what does he call it, agent provocateurs to take part in the protest, suggesting that, you know, maybe the Democratic Alliance knows something that they don't in terms of violence. Do you have a response to that?
Well, I think that's about as ridiculous as the EFF's economic policy. The Democratic Alliance has gone to court precisely because we want to protect South African citizens from a breakdown of law and order and to see violence and looting taking place. Why on earth would we go and perpetrate the very thing we've now spent a significant amount of money approaching the court on an urgent basis to prevent? I think it is scapegoating and frankly ridiculous. However, the interdict now prevents Mr. Malema and his Red Berets from conducting themselves in the way they have on social media and in the manner in which they had planned to do so on Monday. And I think that South Africans can breathe a sigh of relief that the law and order has prevailed and that the rule of law still exists in South Africa, and that law applies to everybody, no matter if you're a Democrat or a demagogue.
John Steenhuisen is the leader of the Democratic Alliance. Thank you very much for your time this morning.